Well, I saved everybody the pain and suffering of going through the whole process of dyeing this leather and sealing the edges and with edge coat and then putting the leather sealer on it. It's very straightforward, just the dye. Use this Febrings USMC Black. All you do is you take a little wool dauber like this, you dip it in, get a little bit on there, squeeze off the excess inside the bottle, and then just go very thin coats. If you put too much on, it turns out kind of ugly. And then after the dye dries, it almost has a purple hue to it. If you've ever colored anything with like a magic marker, a black magic marker, how it kind of looks purple, kind of how it looks like. So then all I do is I take an old sock. This is a wool sock. You can take a piece of probably anything. The only thing I've ever used is these wool socks, because this is pretty much, if you've never worn merino wool socks, you've never really lived. They're just it's like heaven for your feet. You should go buy some. But they do wear out. They do get holes in them. Probably more so than cotton socks. But a good pair of these will last you a good year or so. But anyway, go buy some merino wool socks. Sam's Club or Costco. They have them on sale this time of year. Anyway, so that's all I use is these old socks to buff it out. And after I buff it, then I just go over the edges with the edge coat. Same kind of bottle. The Febrings edge coat, and I use a wool dauber again. But when I put the edge coat on, what I do, let's see, it's on camera here, if this thing will focus, this wool dauber's got little hairs on it, and the little hairs stick out everywhere, and they will actually make a mess. So what I actually do is I put this over a flame, singe all those hairs off, and it turns into be almost more like a felt. This is actually the one that I used. You might be able to see how it has a different look to it. It's kind of brown. And you just kind of go over the edges. And I did have it looking really nice. And I actually let this dry for 2 days before I sealed it. And some of it still bled. Try seal the leather. There's a little spot there where some of the dye leaked through the stitch hole from the inside. There's a real tight bend right there that I was trying to get coated on the inside, and just a little bit excessive dye squeezed through the hole. But I was trying to keep this whole backside look really nice and clean, and all the edge coat lines really sharp. And just when I put this sealer on it, it bled. But oh well. So I saved you guys all that. Not much to watch. So I got the edge coat on. Now, as far as sealing the leather, there's a couple of things you can do. In the past, I've used this leather sheen, and it is way too glossy for me, and it's not a very durable finish. This is a mag pouch I made several years ago. See if you can see how some of the coating has kind of come off of there. Boy, it really doesn't want to focus very well. It's kind of a shame. But there's a lot of spots where you can see it's not shiny anymore, and it just kind of wore off. Because it's almost like an acrylic spray or something. I don't really like the real shiny look. I mean, you can tell the difference between the two. This is a much more semi-gloss rather than this is a very high gloss. And I just don't really care for that look at all. So I learned this little trick with sealer off of the Leather Worker forum. And it comes in a quart jug. It's about 1/3 of the cost of this. And you mix it 50-50, so it comes in a quart, so it actually will make a half a gallon. And it's something that you can find anywhere. Any grocery store, hardware store. It is Mop and Glow. And it's even with a citrus smell. This stuff works really well. Supposedly, the same stuff you get from Tandy or some of these other things. Supposedly it's the same exact chemical makeup as the leather sealer that you can buy, the water-based type leather sealer. So I've been using this, and this quart is probably going to last me a decade or more for no more leather work than I do. But this works really well. And then all you do is you put in a little aerosol bottle and you spray it on. I sprayed it on and then just even kind of buffed it with this, and that's the finish it gives you. I'm really pleased with it. It actually matches the finish of, I have a Beltman belt that I use. It actually matches the finish of that. So it's done. I'll probably redo the belt clips at some point, but I'm not going to get too crazy. You know, I'm actually going to let a friend of mine borrow this for a while, and we're going to try to hammer out some tweaks and stuff. I really want to get the pattern perfected, just for my own sake. It's not like I'm ever going to sell these or anything, but I want to just be really pleased with the outcome. Eventually what I want to do is have a pattern that comes up high enough to where I can actually use leather snaps. The leather is just so much more secure on the belt than these clips are, or the Comptac clips, any of those metal clips. The leather with the pull the dot snap is just a really superior way of having a holster attached to your belt. So anyways, I just got to wear it around for a few days and get it good and broke in. First time I put this on, I couldn't even draw the gun out of the holster, which is typical. You know, I've got to really get this kind of stretched and just get it used to having a gun in it. So anyways, it's done. Appreciate all you guys who've watched these videos. I'll probably do some more stuff like this just because I enjoy doing it. And if you guys got any pointers, any tips, any constructive criticism, feel free to throw it down there in the comments. I'm always willing to learn. And this one's not perfect. Some of the stitch lines got a little away from me. See, this one here didn't follow the line of the gun that well, so I know I need to change that a little bit. But other than that, you can kind of tell on the back side a little bit. Other than that, it's not too bad. For not making one for about 2 years, I'm happy with it. So anyways, thanks.